All right, today's crossover tip. I want to talk about getting out of the sagittal plane. So a lot of what we do in our sports training and everything else we do in life is in what we call the sagittal plane. So we're flexing and extending forward and backward. And so when we look at our hip and core program, that's one of the key reasons we give you that single leg bridge. And that on face value, it looks like you're just going up and down, flexion, extension like typical. But with the single leg variation, I'm having to control that movement in that rotational plane. So my hips are wanting to rotate downwards, that's our transverse plane, and I'm having to stabilize that. So that anti-rotation gets me out of that forwards and backwards plane of motion. And that's important to injury prevention, then also developing your performance. All right, so when you watch me perform this movement, what I want you to notice is I'm not just thinking about lifting and driving my hips up, but I'm also looking at keeping my hips level and balanced. Okay, so I need that hip and pelvis to stay in the same plane. If you're allowing that hip to sag on one side, and we're losing that anti-rotation, and that's the huge benefit of this movement. So make sure you're working on keeping those hips level and balanced. If you need to, break it down into smaller sets. Okay? Rest for a set of 10 seconds before we get into our next set of 5. That's going to help you develop that anti-rotation of the movement.